ChristYinz.
What's up?
What's good? What's up, Jaryd?
What's up, bro? What's happening?
All right, so new episode here. This is going to be You Are the Company You Keep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to title this. You Are the Company You Keep, and we're going to back it with some biblical scripture.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about a couple stories in the Bible, particularly one that I really like, and we're going to go back and forth on it. So, yeah, you are the company you keep. Jaryd and I keep each other as company, and if you guys haven't figured it out yet, Jaryd is a big mentor in my life for the gospel, for God. He's such a huge positive influence, and it's crazy. And he has a lot more hours involved in this stuff than me, and it helps out a whole lot to have someone like that in your day-to-day activities that's pressing in for you to be a better person. And I have a whole big, I say a big circle of positivity and works of God and everything else like that. But it's not, I mean, my circle is less than 10 people, really. Mm-hmm. But I say it's big because it's filled with so much positivity. It's just like, it's crazy.
Power.
You know? But I do keep my circle small. I do. And most of my time in my life is spent by myself, mm-hmm. which is totally cool. But like I said, having the right people in your corner is a huge part of life, and that's in anything. And so we're going to talk about that for a little bit. What do you think, Jaryd? What do you want to talk about right off the rip before we dive into all this stuff?
I think how to apply the teaching, to apply the power of your environment. How do you apply that into your life is the point. Once you realize that the people you're hanging around with have an effect on your life,
right?
It's something has to click, right? Once you realize who you're hanging around with is affecting you to go up or down. I learned this in coaching and in life early was you never stay the same. There's no such thing as this. There's not. It just isn't a thing. You don't stay the same. You're either going down or you're going up. So if you're continually, and this has happened to me, this isn't just my ego, this is just my testimony, right? Is like I've ended up being in an environment where I was always being looked at for answers. You know what I'm saying? I always got to solve the problems, and that was not healthy for me, right? So I don't want to be the best in the room. I got to I got to make a choice to put myself in a room with people that are better than me.
Right, and you should always do that. And they say
always.
That, you know, these quotes like if you're the smartest man in the room, you're in the wrong room.
That's right.
That's 100%.
But I was stuck by my own not knowing. So that's what the point of this podcast is to like tell a truth, right? So people know, right? I had no idea that I was like, oh man, you know, I'm leading every day. I'm the man, people coming to me looking for answers, but I wasn't putting myself in environments to get better.
Right.
And that's when, you know, that's when it was going up, and then they say that it hits a plateau. You know what I'm saying? It plateaued.
10-4. So in a nutshell, I say this stuff all the time when I speak at any kind of event, when I talk to people in groups, when I'm at meetups. Like it is like, look, you are the company you keep, 100%. Show me your friends, and I will show you your future. I say that all the time. So if you're hanging around 4 millionaires, you're probably going to be the 5th one eventually on a long enough timeline. If you hang around 4 dum-dums that just spend all their free time getting drunk, doing drugs, and partying, you're probably going to be the 5th one of those too. Mm-hmm. So you have to choose your path, and it is strongly correlated with who you are around all the time. Mm-hmm. And we can give examples. So let's just say, you know, you mirrored Steph Curry. Say you just mirrored him, all right? You like ball. Say you mirrored Steph Curry for, 6 months. You just woke up with him, hung out with him, and did everything he did. I guarantee you're going to be a little bit better at basketball.
Facts.
All right. Who's a really
probably in life too,
right? In general, who's a really good cook right now? I know there's all them shows and everything else like that. Like,
I don't know. When I think cook, I immediately think Gordon Ramsay, just because he's a maniac. I'm a maniac.
What if you mirrored Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah.
For 6 months.
Yeah.
Would you think you'd be a better cook?
1,000%.
Right.
You'd also probably be a little more crazy.
But so, all right, we good on. All right, so like I said, or whatever kind of athlete or professional. What if you went and found some dude that's always at the bar every day, and what if you mirrored that guy?
Oh my gosh!
Where would you be?
That makes me sick to even think
I'm
about.
Just saying, right? Now listen, bro. Like I said, we're all
do that.
Hey, we're all growth. right? We're all works in progress, and we're all going through growth. We're all growths in progress, if you can say that.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, there was a time in my life in my 20s where I closed down bars all the time because I was young, and I was a product of my environment, and I like to have fun with my friends, and it was fun. It's what I knew, and it was awesome, and you're young. But we're growing in the men. You know, in my 30s now, like I said, my 30s have been a really great run, and it's just, like I said, I made a lot of decisions. I made a lot of choices, and that's what it is. And then I got away from all that stuff. I'm not saying that I don't have love for my friends that do stuff like that still, but, like, I limit it. I limit it as less as I can, and I spend most of my time, like I said, because you're in my day-to-day life.
Right.
I spend most of my time, wake up, get right with God, go to the gym, I run miles, I put in a lot of time with work, I put in a lot of time with this, I put a lot of time with growing myself and being positive and being obsessed with being the best man I can be.
That's right.
I put in a couple days at church a week and help out. I'm a volunteer there. I do help out with nonprofits and everything else like that, and my friends. So, like I said, I'm choosing what to do.
Why are you boasting about your good works, bro?
Well, I'm not boasting about my good works. I'm just telling people what I'm doing on a day to day.
I know.
You know, I know, but that's what you have to do. You have to get it out there. Like I said, we did have an episode, had an episode on that, boasting about good works. You have to get it out there
so people know
you can instill what you're doing into the minds of others that are climbing out of the pit as well, so that they can maybe look up to you. And like I said, it's not even like a level of success. It's not a level of money. It's not a level of age, because, like I said, Dakota's going to be 15 here in 2 months, and normally she's not here today, and we miss her. Miss you so much, Dakota, but she's not here today, and she wasn't with our Jordan York podcast either, because she's so busy doing all her stuff. But, like, I still look up to 5 foot tall 14-year-old Dakota, because I'm like, wow, if she's doing everything she's doing, all these good works, and staying, you know, active and putting in all these hours at that age, that just blows me away. And then, like I said, her mom, her dad, people at church, our friends, you know, yourself, and a bunch of other people in my real estate business that are actually really good people that are successful, and the fact that they give me time and they can have conversations with me to help me get to another level. And it's just, like I said, it's awesome. So changing your circle and changing your people. All right. So it goes on, like, I wanted to say, so guilty by association, right? So guilty by association. If I hang out with 4 guys that are always doing drugs all the time, other people are going to see me and be like, "Oh, Glenny's a you know, he's a junk box too, or he's a partier or whatever too," because you're guilty by association.
Right.
So you can also be righteous by association.
Facts. You
know, and like I said, it could be wrong either way, because maybe I do hang out with 4 people when I was younger and didn't move on and outgrow my friends, and I still hung out with them. And I'm like, I'm the only one that doesn't do that kind of stuff, you know, or I'm the only person that's not hitting his girl or cheating on his girl or, you know, running amok in the streets, stuff like that. I just hang out with these friends because I've known them since I was 6 years old. You know, maybe I haven't outgrew that yet. So I could be a righteous person just hanging around people and being judged wrong. Also, you could be judged righteous. So there could be somebody that's trying to grow out of that stuff, hanging around 4 people doing really great works and living their life kind of clean, and then they're righteous by association. So now you're going to assume that person is the same as the crew in the group, and they might not be. But hanging around us and hanging around these people are going to get you to change and evolve into that type of person. So, like I said, you're way more into scripture and way more biblical and everything else like that. And it's like, you know, so talking about friends and your circle and everything else like that. So in Mark 2, 1 through 5,
fire story right there.
So Jesus, right? Jesus, walking Jesus, the Son of God on planet Earth, healed a paralyzed man from his friend's faith.
They found out he was in town. He had the
4
whole
of his
house
friends,
was packed.
Whole house was packed.
Everything around the whole city.
Get to it. Yeah.
You couldn't even get around him.
They tore the roof off.
Sheesh.
Bro, they tore the roof off.
That's fire
the
right
4
there.
Friends.
If you guys don't read your Bible, you need to get into it, man, because it is the most
fire
stuff
That's
ever.
Fire.
Yeah.
So it's Mark 2, 1 through 5. 4 friends took their paralyzed friend, right? But the 4 people had faith. They pushed through the crowd. They got to the house. They tore the roof off the house. They lowered their friend down to Jesus. And Jesus was like, woo! woo.
Hey, man,
He's like, these guys got faith.
Yeah, so there's stories in the Bible. This isn't like in our notes or not, but there's stories in the Bible where Jesus is moved by great faith.
Yes.
Right? So the woman with the bleeding for 12 years.
Right.
She was in a place of desperation. It says in the Bible, like 12 years back in that culture, if you were bleeding, you were considered unclean. Right. So she probably, like, the most horrific life you could think of is what she went through. She was like, had the faith to say, she was like, if I can just touch his garments, I will be healed.
Yes.
That come out of here, that desperation, kind of like Hannah's prayer in the Old Testament when she had Samuel, was like, came out of a place of desperation. Like she was like, if you can do this, you're the only chance that I got. And then it happened. So it's the same thing for that. Like Jesus is like with the other daughter who gets healed too. She's like, if you could do it, the children's bread, healing is the children's bread, or the dogs get the scraps. And he goes, women of great faith. So there's multiple, that's only right off the top of my head, multiple stories in the Bible where the faith excites Jesus.
And that woman, like you said that you just spoke about, that woman made it to Jesus and she touched his garment. And everybody was like kind of astonished. And they were like, what is this, whatever, this dirty wretch, disease, whatever woman doing, trying to get close to, the Son of God. And she did it, and he knew. Because he knows. He felt it. He felt it. Isn't that what it says? He felt power leave his body and go into somebody else, and he turned around and was like, who touched me, or who whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, he knew that she was just so desperate and had so much faith,
right?
And he healed her.
Yeah, and it's the power of the company you keep.
It is. So that's what I mean. So in Mark 2, that gentleman, the paralyzed man got lowered down, and he got healed because of his friend's faith, and that's what it said. So these 4 people, the 4 friends, had all the faith in the world, broke through the crowd, ripped the roof off.
Right.
They lowered him down, and Jesus healed him because of his friend's faith. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Your circle matters.
It's in the in Luke 5 and Matthew 9, they also talk about this. Yeah. Now I'm starting to see some videos and where it has all the correlations, all these million basic, lines and rainbows connecting all the correlations and connections in the Bible, and it's like infinite. It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. The Bible
interprets itself.
Yeah,
hermeneutics.
It's back and forth, and it's all connected. So people just take one line out of a Bible or one line out of a scripture, and they just run with it when they don't know the whole correlation and everything. Like I said, I'm not a Bible expert at all. You know a lot more than me, and like I said, you're a mentor in this for me. I mean, the Bible app, which I've had for, I don't even know, like 8 years now, 7, 8 years or so. Like the Bible that I've had since I was a child. This is from the 70s, and my grandma left it to me, and I've been reading that one. I've had a couple, throughout life, but like I try to press in. I try to Google stuff because I want to know, man. I want to know all this stuff. There's so much I want to know. I'm so interested in this. Like I really am. So,
the company you keep.
It's like, why, it's so important because who you surround yourself with in your everyday life is who you're eventually going to become.
Right.
And that's fact. This microphone setup is weird right now. We got something different going on.
I created a curriculum around that topic. So there was a sermon that I heard from Joel Osteen, right? And it was called The Power of the Soil.
Right. The Power of the Soil.
Power of the Soil. So I'm listening to that, and like the same week I heard a song by Slim Thug that I never heard before called Church.
Oh, yeah,
and it opens with Joel Osteen saying,
it does.
If you hang around, you can't fly with eagles, you can't soar with eagles and chill with chickens.
You can't. No,
right? So he said that was in it, and then Slim Thug played that, and I was like, man, let me listen to this thing. So I'm listening to it, and it really, like, hit me, bro, right? So I created a curriculum based off of that, and then I started writing it down. How can I deliver this to other people? The top topics that saved my life, right? That got me, like, besides the Bible, how can I explain biblically that this is how you change in your life? And one of the topics was called soil development, not self-development. So when we're talking about self-development, you're looking for personal growth. You're putting time and effort into making yourself better. But one of those ways to make yourself better is to surround yourself with other people, right? So we're explaining this to the kids. Like and there's teens and adults in there too. We're doing this program with. But what you find out is they're like, well, why would I want to do that? Why would I even worry about the company that I keep? So the answer to that question is, like, what's inside you? What's your identity? What's your passion? What is going to move you to cut the people out of your life, right? What's going to move you enough to do that? When you know what you want to do, if you want to be the best, if you want to be the best at something, you put yourself in a room with the people who are the best at that, right? Right or wrong?
And that's why people go to camps. That's why parents will pay, right, for their kids to go to like a hockey camp or a basketball camp. There, even for back in my day, like BMX biking was super popular, and there was Camp Woodward in Pennsylvania, and it was where all the stars like went over the summer. And of course, I could never afford to go there or anything, but I had a couple people that I knew that went there, you know, and I was like, that's awesome and amazing. It's the same thing with like getting a tuner, or getting piano lessons or something like that. You have to put yourself around the people that are up here to keep climbing.
Yeah, but you're before you know how to do that, like you said, your parents put you in it.
Right.
Until you know how to do it. But once you know, you got to do it. Listen, everything that you do throughout your day affects your mind and your mindset. Whatever you're taking in is going to come out. What's in you is what comes out. You can't give what you don't got. Right? So if I got scripture in me and it's flowing up out of me like living waters, I got that to give, right? Now it starts coming up out of me. I'm reading the Bible. That's what comes out of me. That's how I start operating in my daily life. Right? So if you're getting around people of great faith, that faith is going to jump on you. That's what happened when I started going to Revival Today Church. I went to that church, that faith jumped on me, boy. I started talking crazy. My board meetings, my board all left me. They were like, what are you talking about? I said, look, we got work to do. We're saving souls for the kingdom. So people will automatically start falling out. And I was like, I know that God has called me to do something. Bring hundreds of thousands of souls to the kingdom.
And that's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to do with this.
Right. And I don't know how he's going to do it.
Either do I,
but I'm like, I got what I have. What do I have? Boxing. I got a gift. I got gifts to gather people. I got a community center. Right, I'm able to get people together and get them going the same direction, encourage them. So that's what I got.
And the community center's coming along, brother. Community center in Swickley.
Yeah, that thing, old thing had to die.
Real nice area. He took over a rundown community center, revitalizing it.
Yeah, redeeming.
I mean, bro, it's looking awesome.
Fire. Yeah,
dumping some money into it.
But I'm saying, like, when I got around great faith, you know what I'm saying, with Jonathan Shuttlesworth, the Lord told me to go there. Oh. He pulled me.
Fire.
The Lord said, I'm going to highlight you. I'm going to highlight you in front of the congregation today. I heard the Lord speak that to me. That morning, I told my son, walked in there, I tried to hide in the church. I tried to get in the back, and I was hiding, and he was talking about, if you go, like, people will leave and go to the bathroom, and I really had to go to the bathroom. I was like, man, I'm leaving. I ain't demon possessed. I'm going to take a pee. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm trying to find the right time to go take a pee. I go to take a pee, and he goes, excuse me, sir, not trying to single you out, bro. Like, just like that. He's like, I saw the Lord touching you, bro. And the Lord said, acknowledge me when I highlight you, you acknowledge me, bro. And the only way I know how to acknowledge the Lord was I fell to the ground. And he prayed something over me that day that changed me forever. Then I started talking on what the Lord has called me to do. That, like, from then on. And then since I started talking like that, people just started falling out of my life, bro. But you got to get to the next level, things got to get cut. Right. If everybody's not on pay, if you ain't around the people that can catch your vision, feel your vision, right? If you ain't around those people, there's no, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing? I don't know what we're doing.
It's dropping.
You got to do it.
So two things. A, Jonathan Shuttlesworth is a mentor of mine that doesn't do it like me and you do it.
Right.
And we don't hang out and stuff like that because obviously he's so busy with his life preaching and doing everything else like that.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I pay attention to him.
For sure.
I make sure that I'm glued to everything he's saying. Yeah. I watch.
You're hungry, bro.
I watch things that he preaches.
Yeah.
I try to understand because he is an anointed man of God that's been teaching the gospel his whole life. He made that decision when he was just in single digits. You know what I mean? That he was going to be an anointed man of God to preach the word of the gospel. So, like, I just listen and I try to mimic because I believe everything that he says. I'm like, yeah. It's not, there's never like a clashing. Whenever I hear him speak, it's spot on. And he touches me and everything else like that. And I believe, like I said, just like the disciples, God can work through other people. So Jonathan he has put his hands on me. He has prayed for me. And I definitely feel, like I said, Holy Ghost fire. It helps me. It changes me. But pressing into all that, is just amazing. So big shout out to Jonathan Shuttlesworth.
Yeah, and Revival Today Church, shout out. Revival Today Veterans Brigade, shout out for the softball uniform. This thing is so fly. Look at that. I wear it out in everyday life. Shout out. Chuck Smith, IO. It's on apparel. Shout out.
So I want to go on this little quick rant here because we're talking about, like I said, if you're talking about like being a good man and surrounding yourself with people, and I think this is real important. So let me just get this out of my.
All right, get it.
Let me get this out of my system and pay attention, because this is. I think this is some good stuff. So
all right, go ahead, shoot.
Look, here's the thing, right? You can pick. You go this way or that way. Good, bad. Great people, wrong people, all right? Because I've personally have outgrown so many people, and I'm still, not that I don't love them, not that I don't want to see them do better, not that I'm not praying for them, but they just ran their course in my life, and I'll just let them go, and they're dropping off because the dead weight has to go for me to be able to grow. Dead weight has to go for you to grow. How about that?
Hey.
So, listen, if you hang around good-hearted people who barely gossip, lift each other up, all right, stay disciplined, help others without judgment, you're most likely going to evolve into that kind of human as well, right? If you hang around that type of people, you're going to. Or if you hang around violent people who are angry, negative, have no control over their emotions, blame everyone but themselves, and misdirect their hostilities, you're probably going to catch wreck and become that type of person, which isn't good either.
Preach.
So when I say like accountability and misdirected hostilities, when you can't handle your anger and your emotions, that means, like I said, you're misdirecting it to other people. You're going to get mad at the person on the road in the car next to you. You're going to maybe talk to your mom or sister or your father or your brother or your friend wrong because you're mad about this over here and you're taking it out of them. It's misdirected.
It's called bleed on the people who didn't cut you.
100%. Jordan Peterson, world-renowned, what is a psychologist, whatever the scientific word is, world-renowned Jordan Peterson. Everybody pretty much knows who this man is. And he says it best, all right? He says, a harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man that has it under voluntary control.
Oh, that's meekness,
right?
power under control.
Because I even think, as a man, right, even women want the bad boy. They want the strong protector, right? Women want the strong protector, the bad boy, and everything else. But women, they don't want to be screamed at or abused, all right? So if you're screaming on your woman or your mother, you're not a respectable man. I think you're a dangerous joke, and I don't care what anybody thinks about that.
Yeah.
I'm like Dan Penna, the $50 billion man. If anyone's ever heard Dan Penna, he screams, cusses.
Straight up gangster.
He's just straight up gangster, bro. Dan Penna is a straight gangster. He tells you how it is and everything else like that. And he's like, I don't care who likes me. Listen, I don't. Yeah. I don't care. Like I said, I haven't dated a girl in years. I hung out with a girl recently over the winter for 4 to 5 weeks, who was a very nice, amazing mother, amazing woman and stuff like that. And it just wasn't right.
Something was missing.
And yeah, something was missing in split ways. I have not one bad thing to say about her ever. She's an amazing woman, amazing mother. But I'm just saying, it's been years, bro. Years and years and years. So me personally as a man, I don't care if women think that what I say is correct, if it's not, if I'm sexy, if they're interested in me for a relationship. I care about them as a human being, as a friend, as a colleague, as a woman, and I care about their life and the direction it's going in. But as far as the man-woman thing, if every woman's like, Glenn's ugly, or I don't like Glenn, or he's not attractive, it doesn't bother me none. Same with men, if not in that relationship thing, but same with men. If men are like, I don't want to do business with him because he thinks this stuff, right, that's good, and I'm out here doing dumb stuff, I don't care then, bro. If you're doing all this dumb stuff as a man, I don't want to do business with you anyway. Right. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah. So if you don't want to be my friend because I have these righteous and good views and I'm striving every day to be on a higher level, and you hear the stuff that I'm saying, and you don't like it, so you don't want to be friends with me.
Keep it moving.
Because you're like, well, I want to go out there, and I want to sleep with 10 girls a month, and I want to, be able to yell at women, and I want to be able to, have multiple girls and treat them like crap and everything else like that. So you don't like what I'm preaching. Then, Kim, K-I-M, baby. Okay, that's right. Keep it moving. All right? That's me personally.
For sure.
And if everybody drops off, they drop off. But the people that are on my same page and on my same level, they're not going nowhere. Right. You're here helping me. Yep. I have beautiful women that are amazing mothers, that are amazing wives, that are amazing business women, that are here to help me because you know why? I give them respect. I'm not out there dogging them. I'm not throwing these crooked, busted shots at them and stuff like that, or indirectly hanging out with them for a different reason. I'm legit.
Yeah.
And same with men too. Like I said, that's why real recognize real.
Yeah.
That's why, and for everybody out there, I am a cussing Christian. Just like Steve Harvey. I do. Sorry, I cuss a lot. I have have an aggressive demeanor because I've been in big time construction my whole life. And it's just instilled in me. Yep. So Jaryd doesn't cuss ever. This is real. I don't cuss on this station and on the show because it just isn't going to fit in right. And I can control. There's a time and a place, right?
Yeah.
So I have that under voluntary control, like Jordan Peterson said. Yeah. I can be dangerous. Don't take my kindness for a weakness. I'm saved, not soft, bro.
Hey.
I've thrown hands more time than, I don't know, 10 times more than your average man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I probably got hours invested in throwing hands in my life.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll come off. I'll come off. But I have it under control. And I can have conversations. I can talk to people. I can communicate with my friends and women on a good level. Where I know people that are good people and they're successful, but they can't communicate. They let stuff build up, and then they just come and snap at you with anger and derogatory comments. And I'm like, I don't even want to have this conversation with you because you didn't control anything. You should have came and approached me differently, and this conversation would be different, and my opinion of you would be different. It would be handled different. So I just have to walk away from this because arguing with a clown only makes you a clown.
You could just say, look, my ears aren't your trash can. Right. I don't want to hear none of that garbage.
But because you know that I'm a genuine person and I'm actually doing good works, you say, Glenn, it's okay that you cuss some. But you'll still put me in check. Yeah. And I tell all my friends, put me in check with negativity because negativity ain't supposed to come out of your mouth.
Ever.
And I'm bad at
that.
Yeah. So I've been working on that a whole lot. Bro, haven't I been doing better?
I've
been doing so much better with it.
Bro, you're like 1,000 times better since the first time I met you.
I told all my friends too. I said, call me out. So my friends will sit there and they'll call me out 100%. Like they'll say, "Hey, Glenn, you're being negative."
But there's things that dropped off your life since the first time I met you. There's stuff that's been cut out of your life, like the dead weight, and then you go up.
Yeah, there's people. Like I said, people, places,
things. Yeah,
people, places, things, bro.
Yeah, them habits that's how you got to break them habits, man. Hallelujah. Power of the soil. So if your life is a seed, right? If your life's a seed, you need things to grow. All right. So think of your life as a seed. You need water. You need sunlight, and you need good soil, right? Because guess what that seed is if your life, just like this is the Bible, you have everything inside of you that you need. Everything's already inside of you. You just need the right environment, right? But just like you need water, sunlight, and good soil, there's things that could choke you out, right? Rocks, thorns, and weeds, right? Those rocks, thorns, and weeds are usually your friends, families, and coworkers. That sounds harsh, but it's true. Family, friends, and coworkers are the people that you're usually around the most, typically, not all the time, I'm saying, are ones that pull you down, at least from where I'm from. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So knowing that, I'm not, like we would say this in the program to tell kids, be like, we're not telling you to cut off all your friends. Be aware of the environment you're in and why you're there. If you want to achieve your destiny, your dreams, leave a legacy, if you want to do something in life, you have to be aware. You got to be aware of the people and things that you're around and what you're doing.
And what they say, dude, your family and close friends will kill your dreams faster than anybody else. You know? Like I said, you can be like, hey, I want to be on television or I want to be in the NBA. And like, maybe your parents or your sister or your brother or someone in, but like, you can't do that. What are you talking about? Or you grow up in the projects. You're like, I'm going to be a millionaire one day. And they're like, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Go work in the mill.
Yeah, you're going to be like everybody else.
Like what I did. Go work in the mill, 100 hours a week and come home, to me, covered in coke dust and everything else like that.
Terrible, man.
And yeah, and then you don't know. So you got to change your environment. But when you're young, you're so subjectable. Is that a word? You're like subjectable or whatever to your elders and then your peers too, that you get it stuck in your head and you can't climb. So like I said, it is like
you're a product of your environment always.
You are, but the thing is you can change that at any given time. Yeah. And in 2023, bro, we got phones, we got Reels, we got YouTube, we got TikTok. There's kids in the projects that have iPhones and they can sit there and turn on anybody that's inspiring, from E.T. to Tony Robbins to Grant Cardone for real estate to R.I.P. Kobe Bryant and all his positive talks and things like that. And you can watch these videos and you can be like, all right, you don't have to be a product of your environment because now that's your environment.
That's right.
Now you're changing it. Now that's your environment, man. And
I think people see that on TV or on the phone, and they'll think that it's still so far away from them. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't put their hands on it, but that's not true. There's people in your city, in your neighborhood that can help and want to see you do good. And ChristYinz is one of them. If you're in Pittsburgh, we want to see you win.
100%. We want the city to do better. We want everyone to do better in the city, And like things don't happen overnight. That's what I want to say. I'm going to harp on it until this podcast is no longer, and I hope it just goes forever. And but like, dude, we are a work in progress. Everybody's a work in progress. Everybody is. You can't hate on somebody for just deciding to start doing better one day. You can't be like, I don't know, you can't be in real estate and then somebody all of a sudden gets a real estate license and you're like, oh, that clown. You think, dude, what? You know, and you're going to start talking bad about somebody because maybe you didn't like them or get along with them. Now they're in your realm and you've been doing it for 10 years. And you're like, they don't know nothing about that, blah, 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 you know, and saying negative stuff. No, how about you come help them and embrace them because they made that decision to take a step and become a real estate agent. And now they want to start growing. You know, and it's just like I said, some like in sports too. Some of the greats, you know, they just come in and you don't know they're going to be great, and all of a sudden they pass you up.
Yeah,
you know,
people's insecurities, which comes from a lack of identity, right? If you don't know who you are, your identity in Jesus and what you're capable of, then you're insecure. But if you know who you are, then you're happy. You're happy to see people win. You know.
Also, so you guys, again, like I said, I know that I talk on most of these podcasts and do stuff like, and that's how Jaryd and I kind of want it and do it because I think Jaryd's gift is reaching people, bringing out the best in people, correlating events and connections and networking,
providing an environment.
He's a big provider, providing environment to get people to become the best selves and everything else like that, and making connections. And my gift is speaking. Always has been speaking, talking to people, having conversations with people and things like that. And I just like to go on rants. So I'm more of a talker. I'm more of this. So that's why it's set up like this, and this is why we do what we do. So I think we probably got like maybe 5 more minutes or so.
So there's questions for the. Go ahead. What do you got?
Well, I wanted to talk about like, you know, the growth and stuff like that. So like,
go ahead.
like I said, everything is a growth. So everything is going up, going up, going up. No matter what you do, it's repetition. Just like with boxing training. Like I said, I fought for years. Like it's the same thing. You do the same thing every day, right? You do the same basketball, whatever, football. It's drill, drill, drill. So like, whenever the time comes to shine, you don't have to be psyched up or really pumped up. It's the hours and hours and years of repetition that automatically muscle memory just come to you and you start reacting to it. But it takes steps and levels to grow up there. So like being a good man, right? So being a good man, it doesn't just happen. So I know, like myself, a lot of people, they're born with a good heart, right? Then you have some bad apples that are born with not such great positive emotions. I get it. But it's a choice. And you can choose to have a daily conversation with yourself to work on your weaknesses and downfalls. You can bring them front and center every morning when you talk to God, and you can confront them like a man and choose to work on them. So by checking yourself first thing in the morning, it will resonate with you throughout the day. And on a long enough timeline, it changes you as a person. So that's, you know, like David Goggins calls it the accountability mirror. I know you and I, we wake up, we thank God, we have a conversation with God. But I'm humble enough, like I said, to say, God, I can't do this on my own.
Oh, man.
I need help. I have some anger problems still in me from when I was younger. I have some road rage problems. I want to be able to communicate with people. Don't misdirect your anger today, Glenn. Like, hey, Glenn, let's not do this. Let's not do that. I check myself. First thing in the morning, I get humble. Let's have good conversations with people. Let's help out people as much as I can. And I put it in my head when I'm getting right with God, first thing in the morning. So then, like I said, it does resonate with me through the rest of the day, and I can check myself constantly throughout the day. Then I have friends and peers that can check me too. And I don't get mad. Like if you say something like, Glenn, that's being super negative, you need to stop being a baby about it and stop being all pouty pants. Let's press in the good stuff. Hey, you're driving a nice vehicle. You ate good dinner today. Your family and friends love you. The sun is shining. The grass is green. Your friends love you. You have a great circle, you know? And then I'm like, you know, hey, hallelujah. I'm like, you know what, Jaryd? You're right. Why am I bumming about this dumb thing? And letting it take all this away from me? Because that's stupid. And then you check me where other people will be like, shut up, man, I don't got no anger problem, I don't got this, you know what you're talking about, man, and they get all defensive. I got friends like that can't communicate. They get in D mode. I just stay. I'm like, you know what, I got to keep my distance a little bit because you're not on that level yet. Then if I say something like, you're not on my level because you can't communicate, they get all offended, all pouty pants and offended, and it has them project their anger at me, which only proves me right
Yeah.
that you can't handle yourself. I like that we're having a good
true.
time, but
Yeah, that's fun.
So yeah, there.
That's good.
But yeah, you listen. Your soil stuff, your curriculum for being a better person. Like I said, even me being around you is as much because like we only started really coming around each other like a year ago all the time, like being daily in each other's lives and stuff like that. And just like in the past year, like it's drastically changed me.
Amen, bro.
You know, like I said, the company you keep, bro, and I've known this for a while.
It's an honor, bro. It's an honor.
It is, and I'm thankful every day, man. Like you really, you're helping mold me. And it's like you never know. Ed Milet, another Christian billionaire. Ed Milet, you don't know who that is? Google it. He's a good man. He's a Christian billionaire. But he came out with that book last year, like One More, The Power of One More or whatever.
Yeah,
and he's wrote a book.
One
so
More.
here's
That's
the thing.
power.
And you got to remember, Ed Milet is, a community leader of men by example. He's a Christian, billionaire guy, just bought an island for his family. He is a good man that has worked very hard to get where he is. And here's his testimony is his father was an alcoholic. And so many times his father would say, this is the last time, Eddie, this is the last time, and screw up. And it wasn't till, how many day ones or how many, this is the last time you're going to have.
Yeah.
But you know what? One time it stuck. The one time it stuck, and his daddy was like, I'm going to lose you. I'm going to lose my wife and your mom. I'm going to lose my whole family.
Yeah.
This is it, Eddie. And Eddie was like, what makes this any different than the last time? And his dad just kept saying, well, I'll tell you what. For one more day, I'm not going to drink. I can't promise you past that, but for one more day.
One more.
But here, this is what blew me away too, and I never really thought like this. That that a lot of people that go through addiction and drug and alcohol problems have sponsors and things like that. So Ed Milet now, who is a huge staple in the positive community, billionaire, millions of followers, this and that. His father, was an alcoholic going way downhill, and someone helped his father. Someone helped his father. You know who helped his father?
Who?
A drunk, a person that was an addict, somebody that was down in the gutter that pulled themselves out of it. This was just an everyday regular man struggling and climbing out the pit himself and trying to hold on to just one more day. And that man helped Ed Milet's dad. He helped his father, right? So then his father got clean, and his father ended up raising Ed and had a good marriage and everything else like that. And now Ed is who he is today, a billionaire helping out thousands, millions, whoever, because some nobody that was also an addict and a drunk helped his father to just press in one more day. Yeah. So some nobody that, I don't even think Ed knows who it was, just helped his dad, because you never know what's going to happen down the timeline, bro. So even I help you, you help me, we help other people. You never know who you're helping.
That's right.
Yeah,
just keep doing.
You never know.
Keep doing the right thing, the holy thing.
And that's what it is, man. Yeah. So there's that rant also.
That's good.
I mean, I know we didn't incorporate a whole lot of scripture in all this because our time's up.
Well, parable of the sower.
Let's talk about it.
Parable of the sower is where the power of the soil came from. So that's in the Gospels, right? So Matthew 13, Mark 4, and Luke 8. It talks about a farmer sowed seed on rocky ground, right? Some sowed seed where there was bushes, and then some sowed seed in good soil. So we could read the scripture, right? You got it up?
No, I got Mark.
Go 4, right there.
Right there. I got Mark's too, so. Get that ready. I want strong people. Strong people. We talked about it. I said I wanted to wear my Rosa Parks shirt. I wanted to show it off. Rosa Parks. It says Rosa Parks. 1955. Because you know why? She was strong enough to stand up to the whole world, and she had God backing her. But she was strong enough to show out for herself, for her people, for women, for everybody, and the African American community. Back whenever it was vicious for them, and she stood up and she took a stand, and I love it. I love people like that, and I just wanted to wear the shirt because I mentioned it on the Mother's Day podcast. But yeah,
all right, you ready? You want me to read this, or are you just gonna show it off?
Wrong way.
There you go. All right, this is Mark chapter 4. This is the parable of the sower. This is talking about good seed, good environment, right? 4:3 says, "Hearken, behold, there went out a sower to sow. It came to pass as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. And some," he's talking about seed, "some fell on stony ground where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up because it had no depth of earth." So, planted a seed and it grew quick, but it couldn't take root. It couldn't take root, right? Because the soil wasn't deep enough. But when the sun came up, it was scorched because it had no root. It withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no fruit. And other fell on good ground, and it did yield fruit that sprang up and increased and brought forth some 30, some 60, and some 100. And then he said it to them, "He that had ears, let them hear." So that's a parable. That's the parable of the sower right there.
But it's also, like I said, you need a strong foundation. You need to start with strength. You can't build in sand. You have to build on a solid foundation. So you have to get it right from square one.
You got to get around you got to get around the right environment.
The right environment will help build you, and you need to get to them. You need to find your people. Listen, find your people. Don't be afraid about erasing everybody. It is okay to outgrow friends. It doesn't matter. If you want to get here, there's a path, and it's the people you're going to surround yourself with. You need a strong foundation. You can't keep just spinning your wheels, building in sand.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. And if you're stuck, like if you're at work and you're like have a bad boss, so if you got like an hour drive to work, right, and your boss rides into work, he's driving in for an hour and he listens to political radio where there's just like people disagreeing and arguments happening, or whoever. That's an hour of negativity where by the time he gets to the door, he's all ramped up, right? And ready to go. He's ready to hold a fight club up in there, a Royal Rumble up in the workplace, right? That creates a toxic environment. So just be aware of your surroundings. That's all.
All right. Well,
be encouraged.
Hey, I really hope whoever watches this gets something out of this. I hope we can chop up some reels on TikTok. We started a TikTok.
TikTok.
We started one of them.
ChristYinz.
You know what I'm talking. ChristYinz. Go find it.
Yeah,
ChristYinz. ChristYinz.
Yeah, Christians on Instagram. Christians on Facebook.
The Facebook.
Yep, and we have the apparel. We got the Christians apparel.
And we're gonna really work out this apparel store. We're gonna work out some more apparel in store. I know.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
We are super busy with stuff. At least we can stay consistent on the social media.
Yeah.
But yeah.
ChristYinz, we got the apparel on Instagram. TikTok has started. Reach out to us. Leave a message. Message us in the.
We're trying.
Yeah, message on the Facebook.
It's just like Instagram. I said. I mean, we're running 16-hour days now.
Yeah, we're getting getting calls, man, from people. So thank you. Keep reaching out.
We're so. I mean, we can't.
Man. Everybody who's listening.
Yeah, we're just here. We can't do none of this without any yins, but we're doing it. To hope that people will share, spread the word, spread the mindset positivity, take some stuff. So look, follow, share, tell some people about it. It is free. It's free to share. People will share dumb stuff that happened or stuff about celebrities that nobody cares about. This is real. This is what people need to hear. Follow, share this stuff. It's free. Tell people about it. Get a shirt. I know we're working on some of the pricing with stuff because with shipping and all this other stuff, it just adds up to something, but we're trying to figure this out. We're not shirt business people. We don't have a shirt company. We have somebody that's very nice that helps us down in the Carolinas and does stuff, and we're just trying to work some stuff out. So there's that, but we're trying to get things in order. We're trying to get the social media up and running. And like I said, and Dakota, like I said, she's a teenage girl, and she downloads all her stuff, and she makes reels, and she does that other stuff, but she has so much church stuff. She has her other stuff. She has her school stuff. And it's just, we're trying to get all this stuff done. When Jaryd's trying to run his community center, and I'm trying to run my business, and then we're still trying to press in and be the best that we can be and take care of our health and everything else like that. So everybody that supports us, you have no clue. My gratitude as a man when I wake up that there's breath in my lungs and I have a roof over my head is so great, and my friends and everything else like that. My gratitude is most high in life in general, and my gratitude for this ChristYinz mission and anybody out there that listens, that clicks the like, that clicks the share. It's just amazing, and I just sit back sometimes and think of how blessed we are, and we're so thankful for all yins. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Thank y'all.
Thank you. So we'll end with that.
Yeah. We out.
We out.